Talisman: The Horus Heresy is a digital board game based on the Talisman rule system and set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe during the events for the Horus Heresy. Am I right?
That's correct, yes.
So, Mr. Bate, how is the development of the game going and how far from finishing are you guys? The game is to be published February 22nd, right?
Yeah, so we're in the last kind of phases of beta testing. The game is pretty much completed now. We're really happy with it, and like you say, we're releasing on the 22nd of February. So really, the next week or so, it's just kind of ironing out any of the last little bugs, making sure that any last little tweaks to gameplay are put in. But it's essentially finished now. So.
Alright, that's very good. Before going deeper on the game, let's give the people a little overview about who you are and have you worked in any other games. I'm pretty sure you have done that. What are your current tasks at Nomad Games? Are you new to the Horus Heresy theme, or have you tried the board games, or have you read the books?
I've been a Warhammer 40,000 fan since I was 10, so I've been playing Warhammer 40,000 for 30 odd years. I'm a big Horus Heresy fan. I've been playing the Horus Heresy games since they started doing the big black books at Forge World at the very beginning. I've got I'd say about 4 or 5 Horus Heresy armies and 20 or so Warhammer 40,000 armies in the garage. I tend to play Warhammer 40,000 about once or twice a week. I've got a gaming group that we play Warhammer 40,000 quite a lot. So I'm pretty much a dyed-in-the-wool fan of Warhammer 40,000. I've been since the very, very beginning of it as a child, you know. So.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. You've been playing it. So you must be pretty happy and eager about the game releasing and actually playing it once out.
I mean, when we originally did Talisman Digital Edition, I used to play Talisman as a kid as well, and I thought that was a dream job. But when Games Workshop came to us at Nomad Games and said, "So we're thinking of how would you feel about doing a Horus Heresy tie-in with Talisman?" It was literally my dream job. It's like, well, this is just amazing because, you know, I was really happy working with the Talisman stuff, but it was literally taking my hobby and you know, bringing it to work. You know, it's just been a fantastic experience for me, really. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're having a blast on it.
Yeah.
All right, I was given a beta key, and I must
Yeah.
confess that I am a newcomer into digital board games. I can tell the game makes a big effort about making players know every little detail of the game. There are many pop-ups telling you what things do and how you can go around them and how they work. For saying like, well, actually, the playability of the game, it's like you need to read the pop-ups, because if you roll the dice and you have a 6 or 5, it will give you X result, for saying. Are you aiming the game for hardcore players for the board games, or do you have in mind newcomers, people who have never tried the game, never read the book, like I did or like I do? I mean, the game has a very friendly environment with tips and stuff like that. Are you actually aiming to newcomers too, or are you aiming to hardcore players?
I think to be honest, a bit of both. With the Talisman game mechanics, the game mechanics themselves are relatively simple, and the game itself's been around for about 30 years or so. So I mean, the reason for all the tips at the beginning is because you need to kind of the way that the game works is you need to kind of explain to the player where every little bit of things are, and because if they miss some, it's quite difficult to miss something. So that's the reason why the tips are there, and a lot of the complexity of the game is usually kind of within making sure you know where different elements of the UI are. So that's why at the beginning the tutorials are pretty kind of there's quite a lot of them at the beginning, and then as you progress through the game, you don't need them so much, and you can actually turn them off. So it's fine.
For how long have you been into the development? The whole team. How long is the?
We started talking to Games Workshop about Talisman Horus Heresy about 2 years ago, when we were coming towards the end of the release of Talisman Digital Edition. We went down to Games Workshop in Nottingham and spoke to them about it. Then me personally, I've been working on the game since then for 2 years. The rest of the team, it's only a small team at Nomad Games. The rest of the team of about 5 of us kind of split our time between doing expansions for Talisman Digital Edition, and then doing little bits of work for Horus Heresy to begin with. And then as the game progressed, more and more of the team kind of came on board. So me personally, 2 years. The rest of the team full time, probably about a year or so, something like that. We tend to juggle because we do a lot of the expansions for Talisman Digital Edition as well. We tend to try and juggle between what we're doing with Horus Heresy and what we're doing with Talisman Digital Edition. So, but the whole project in itself, 2 years for me. The rest of the team, a year and a half, a year, something like that.
Yeah, decision that you will actually focus on a board game.
Well, it all really stems back to when we originally started. When the company Nomad Games started 5 years ago, we just a little bit of history. We formed Nomad Games from the kind of the aftermath of the closing of all of the THQ studios about 5 years ago, and we were actually the members of the team. We were actually all part of THQ Warrington or THQ UK, and we had a good working relationship with Games Workshop because we'd just around about the time of the close, we'd just finished a game called Kill Team, which is a twin stick shooter based in the Warhammer 40,000 world, where you're running around an orc cruiser, kind of blasting orcs. And it was actually like a precursor to the Space Marine video game that Relic did. So we had a really good working relationship with Games Workshop anyway. So when we decided to set up our own company, we approached Games Workshop and said, we'd really like to work with you again. Are there any kind of specific IPs that you would be interested in kind of having digital versions of? And it was them that said, well, we've got this game Talisman. And a few of the guys were kind of raised eyebrows. Well, what can we do this? But one of the directors of the company, a guy called Carl Jackson, as a kid, he was a massive Talisman fan, similar to the way that I'm a massive Warhammer 40,000 fan. So he was like, oh, we've got to do this. It's a great game. There's been people in the community who wanted a digital version of this for such a long time, and there were attempts to make it previously. Which never kind of got off the ground. So we kind of thought, well, let's go give that a go, and it was really successful. We did really well with it. With Talisman Digital Edition, we've had really good sales with it on Steam and iOS and Android. So due to the success of that, when Games Workshop said to us, well, we want to do more with the Talisman IP. We want to start, seeing where else we can go with it. Do you want to fancy try doing something with Horus Heresy as well? So because we'd already written a game engine specifically to play the Talisman board game, it was kind of a bit of a no-brainer for us, really. And because I've got such a large amount of expertise within the Horus Heresy, it was just an easy transition for us to say, well, let's try doing Talisman Horus Heresy.
I understood. So I guess you have worked at different kind of games, like action games or role-playing games, for saying. How different or not?
Yes, I've been in the games industry for about 25 years now.
So
starting right from the very beginning, when 3D first started coming in, we used to make 3D flight simulators. Then later on, we've worked on driving games, and then we've done war games and like I say, little twin stick shooters and all sorts. And it's only with Nomad that we decided. I think because we're all getting to the kind of age. I mean, I'm in my mid-40s now, and the other directors are kind of a similar age. The kind of the business model that we wanted to go for with this, we kind of wanted to, the stuff that we were doing, wanted to harken back to some of the stuff that we were into when we were kids, you know, and digital board games. There has been a bit of a kind of a surgence of people wanting to play, you know, their favourite board games digitally. And we thought, well, you know, there's not many other people that are doing that, and we know about this stuff, and we know about how to make computer games. So it's kind of a bit of a, you know, it's a, well, let's try it and see whether it works, you know.
Yeah, and also it adds a possibility for many people from around the world to play together. Many fans, they will be able to gather on their computer with many other people from Japan or other people from the United States or from the UK, and they will play together.
That's absolutely the beauty of it. And also, I mean, like on the playing it on the iPad or on a tablet. I mean, me and my family, we take Talisman on the iPad and we play it, you know, just like we play a normal board game. But you know, if we're out camping or something like that, we get the iPad out, set it up on the table, and you can play it just like you would play a normal board game, except you don't have all the huge amount of bits set up just there straight away, and it's just the same, you know. So it's having a full board game in your pocket. It's great.
Okay, so as a quick overview, how different is to create a board game rather than a role-playing game or an action game? Is it harder? Is it easier?
The beauty of the original beauty of the original Talisman Digital Edition is we'd had 30 years of people spending time making sure that all the rule set was right. So with Talisman Digital Edition, we stuck as closely to the original rules as possible and tried not to deviate at all. With Horus Heresy, it's been nice because we've been kind of given, you know, free rein to kind of to make the rules work as well as possible in the digital space. So if there are difficult rules to get across digitally, then we take them out and you know and as opposed to other kinds of games, it's for me it's the design process. You know, it's the same process. You do your research on what you're going to be making. You play a lot of the similar kind of games. And then you just go through that design process. So it's kind of just different. It's a little bit different. The same process. You go through the same process, just like you would do with creating any other kind of game. And I guess it's because I've been doing it for so long that.
So you find it familiar.
It's yeah. You kind of the fact that it's a board game rather than a first-person shooter or a car game or whatever. That you find that the same. You still got to design a UI. You still got to kind of have an environment. You know, it's everything. It's kind of similar. And once you've been doing it for as long as I have, it doesn't really phase you.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah.
Okay, I have these. The two next questions are directly related to what I have felt about the game.
Okay.
So I may not include it in the whole interview that is going to be on our website if you want to,
Okay.
or you
Okay.
don't want to. Going back to the newcomers, since I am a newcomer in this kind of games, I found pretty hard to understand what was my goal. Well, obviously, you know, the goal is to win, but
Yeah.
I mean, how it wouldn't tell me directly. I mean, that is what I was. That was because I am a newcomer. And I have no idea about how the board games are done or how you play them. But I did my best effort about it.
Yeah. I can answer.
Yeah.
The reason why that is there's on your pre-release version you haven't got the the button that says the manual.
Uh-huh.
So there's a manual which you've written, which is online manual, and it explains to you exactly how you go about playing the game. And you're right. It's kind of like how to play this game. If you need, you know, you usually get a manual to kind of show you how to play the game. So when the final version of the game comes out, underneath all the different options which say play now and online, or like there'll be one at the bottom that says online manual, and you click on that and it gives you an explanation of a little bit of the history of the Horus Heresy and what you're supposed to be doing and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, that's only just I literally finished the manual for approval on Friday yesterday. so,
Really?
so yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is what it's like in the games industry. You kind of the time between everything kind of being finished and the actual release of it. Well, you kind of finish it, and then the week later you press the release button in Steam. So
Yeah, yeah.
so that was one of the last things that I've just been getting approved with Games Workshop, and I agree. You kind of do need that little bit of, especially if you're a newcomer, of kind of explanation of what it is that you're supposed to be doing in this universe, and that's what the manual's for.
All right, thank you very much. I will check that out once the game
I'll make sure it's the manual was supposed to be going live this weekend actually,
on the beta.
So that people could have a read through it before the actual game's released. We're still going through the approval process with Games Workshop on that, so it's probably going to be next week now. But as soon as we've got that approved, what I'll do is I'll send a link to you, so you can have a kind of read on what it's all about.
Yeah, I actually got deep into the game because it got me. I mean,
Yeah.
a single game, it could take an hour, like as a minimum time to finish it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
players may. Oh, I almost forgot about this question. Are you going to add a option to save a game? For saying I'm playing 1 hour and I need to go home, or I need to go to whatever I need to go, and I don't want to lose the whole progress I have achieved until.
Yeah, the game automatically saves when you quit out the game. The game's automatically saved.
It does.
So yeah, all you do is when you go to play a new game, there'll be the last one that you kind of started, and you can name what the game you want to be and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, because obviously that's if you're playing a 4-player version of this game with your friends, across the country or across the world, then you may only want to play for half an hour and then put it down and then come back. That's one of the things that we made sure was in there, and you can do that. You can save the game and then come back to it at any point, because it's a long game. It can be between an hour and 2 hours to play the full version of the game.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
One of
Huh? Go
one
on.
of the things we're going to do actually is after we've kind of gone through the release and the game's released on the 22nd, is we're going to start looking at. There's going to be on some of the updates we're going to do some basically little free mission packs for the players so that they can play shorter versions of the game, so they can play within the game environment, but it'd be much kind of, rather than you've got to get to the middle of the board onto the vengeful spirit and kill the emperor. We're going to do much shorter ones, so like maybe half an hour games of it's the first player to be able to destroy 20 units, or it's the first player to be able to kill another warlord or something like that. So what we wanted to do is to start off with, we wanted to get the main kind of the Talisman game, as it were, which is travel to the middle and kill the emperor, get that main game out, and then once that we were sure that was all working properly, as free upgrades to the game, we're going to do shorter versions for the players. So you can anything from a little 5-minute game to half an hour or whatever.
All right. I totally understand that. I will be waiting for those manuals and that little tutorial or first
Okay.
mission so I can totally get into the game, because I like the game. I mean, okay, I have played one board digital game, and that was Yu-Gi-Oh.
Uh-huh.
If that comes into that particular tag of game for saying.
Right. Okay.
So I will be waiting for that. I like the game. I have this friend who is creating another game named 45, and I shared the game to him, and he said that it has a pretty good trailer video, and that he finds the game pretty cool too. So
Okay.
he doesn't have a key. I do have a key. I will brag about it on him, but I will be waiting for the game to totally release. I will keep trying to understand the game. I actually went to Wikipedia, and I'm trying to read the books, and
Right.
so I can have a deeper understanding about the game.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sorry for that. So I'll be waiting for that. And
Okay.
so Mr. Andy Bate from Nomad Games, from the very United Kingdom, right? He's the art director of Talisman, the Horus Heresy. He just provided us some pretty cool information about the game. Is there something, Mr. Bay, that you want to say to people who probably will see the video or read the interview on our website, revistalevelup.com?
I would say this game's been a real labour of love for me for the last 2 years, and I just hope that everybody enjoys playing it as much as I've enjoyed creating it. Really, it's been an absolute blast for me, and I'm just so proud of it. It's I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I think this is probably the highlight of it for me, really. So I just hope everybody enjoys it.
All right, I really wish you the best of the lucks about
Thank you.
the launch of the game. I hope many people actually reads this and reads any other websites critics about the game, and they will come out pretty good. I can tell you, I have never tried this kind of games, and I really like it. I'm trying to learn about the game. I'm reading Wikipedia, I'm reading books, and reading other stuff about Warhammer 40k and many stuff about it, so I can really get to understand what I am to do on the game. So I really appreciate your time. I know you guys are busy. You're almost releasing the game, just 11
Yeah.
days, 10 days, or 9 days to go.
Mm.
So I really
Yeah.
appreciate your time and giving us the opportunity to have a little interview with you.
Okay. Thank you. No, it's been great. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it. I will stop recording right now.